What's up, people lovers? The Viper against JorDan in T90's Titans League quarterfinals. An absolute banger of a set. Winner faces the winner of Yo versus Tato. We're starting off on Arabia here, and Viper is playing Chinese, JorDan is playing Mayans, and it was a really passive early game. As you can see, both players really looking into their walls, one archer range each. And JorDan played a small drush to begin with, but not too much happened. So pretty stable there and not too much of relevance. As you can see, Eco KD not really important. KD overall pretty equal. JorDan went into Eagles after all those shenanigans. Triple barracks here. Viper was trying to poke a bit, but the Eagles did a good job of clearing this one up. Viper micros like a god, but will in the end lose to the 2-1 Eagles on that end. And then he goes for a really interesting choice. Against the Mangonel Eagle aggression, he goes into CA. We would see like Hera go for like knight crossbow, maybe only knights. We would see some people go into longsword, but you're missing supplies. So CA, certainly an option that we don't see too often. And he will get pressured quite a bit, as we can see. Loses quite some ground, is trying to intercept some eagles that are coming over, and is trying to force some fights. But it's going to be really rough for him, simply because all those were so good. But he in the end cleared it up there with all this CA, and then we had the big fight. Both players about to be on the way to Imperial Age for JorDan, and Viper already is there, and that major crucial hill in the center of the map, both players identifying, and simply better army position here for JorDan, had the better numbers. As you can see, villagers a bit better for the Viper, so solid economy behind all this. Switch away from the CA, and we have this switch away from the Eagles into crossbows, back into Eagles now that we are going towards Imperial Age for JorDan. So a lot of tech switches there for sure. Viper is trying to find some raids. JorDan still happy to have control here. And more eagles being added, more and more barracks, and that results into elite eagles just finishing when we have a big fight for that center hill. Traps shooting at both ends, as you can see, 2 here, 1 there, and eagles will find the clear up here, but pretty tricky. The castle will fall after this. Eldorado still quite some time away, and Viper will somehow get control over this hill, but still JorDan gets into his dream army composition of lots and lots of elite eagles, just missing some halberdiers for my liking. As we can see, mass light cav, mass cavaliers on the field. Viper trying to find some counter attack, but nice quick ones there by JorDan. But some skirms joining the party, and therefore will take away the third gold spot here of JorDan. Also, this one was contested, so Viper gets more gold. But JorDan still having the dream army here, as I'm saying. But halberdier upgrade is missing, and that will cost him dearly in those big fights. Still keeps the hill here, 36 pikemen. Not really able to sell all the resources, and one big engagement here goes into the favor of JorDan, finding quite some kills and really impressive hold by him here. But behind this, the raids are happening, pikemen are getting distracted and couldn't really get onto proper reproduction here at the front. And Viper, with his great economy, can go for this attack again. And still the big problem, still no last attack upgrade and no halberdiers, and therefore at some point those cavalry can overwhelm with the help of all the skirmishers, and JorDan not happy with this one. Just so many crazy fights over and over again. JorDan broken with the weak economy behind this. As you can see, 80 villagers, and yeah, JorDan simply saying, come on bro. Can you play a bit weaker versus me, please? GG, well played. Viper takes game 1. A really good game. Which brings us to game 2. On Ghost Lake, the Viper will play Tatars, JorDan with Mongols, and it's going to be a really passive game for a very long time. Walls are being set up, both players are going for scouts, but as you can see, like, wall maps are really easily walled, and we don't see a lot of aggression. As you can see, like KD 1-0 there, 20 minutes in, both players going for the 3TC play, and in the end, the army composition is going to be Cavalry Archer Kashik with Hussar Mangudai. That means Viper goes double gold composition, something we don't see too often. Knows that he needs to do some damage. There are raids happening at multiple sites, and just massive armies trying to clash. JorDan trying to constantly find some holes there, trying to find some damage with his raids. Still banking lots and lots of gold. And as you can see, like those Mango guys, 11 kills, so not a lot of fighting happening for quite some time. Just a bit of dancing here multiple times. JorDan now trying to go for some traps. And as you can see, Viper, he is pretty massive there. Army value, better for JorDan though, especially with all the traps that he has out on the field now. And is pushing this army back for a small moment, but now the Keshiks deciding to engage, and JorDan, not enough Mango guys, needs to disengage this one. And this one continued multiple times, lots of big armies clashing against each other, but no significance there. Viper with a way better KD, that's mainly due to the Hussar rates, and now people are starting to have fun a bit. Did we have the message here? I tried to prepare something for you. Hope the viewers brought some time. And yeah, now Viper types, it's better for me because this is typically your bad time. And that's the moment that JorDan says, that's true. I should probably take this engagement now. Is moving in with all his Mango dice and Hussars. Viper not really having the numbers, not really having the production behind it either. Not really pop limit. And therefore JorDan takes the timing, better Q behind this, and actually goes for the big kill here. Traps are finding the damage and both players having lots of fun, but Viper may be having a bit too much fun. The Q was not properly set up, obviously ran out of gold. Double gold composition is going to be the tricky one, and Mango dice in the end will reign supreme. JorDan taking basically a dream game here. Elite Mango die, just the boom, takes it to 1-1. Even Stevens jumping into game 3. Gojiras for JorDan. The Viper is going for Magias. And we see scout opening for both players here. Some harassment here for JorDan. Found some nice pickups here. It's a bit annoying, a bit sloppy there by the Viper, who is now sending his own scouts back. And Viper played lots and lots of feudal age army here, as we can see. Gets the upgrades for his scouts. But JorDan did a pretty solid job here of using the hill, having all the archers. Now even adding some of his camels pretty soon. And Viper, he couldn't really deal with all those spearmen. JorDan did not stop production there. Nice reaction for sure. And bloodlines can't be used. 3 archers still trying to find some damage. And yeah, in the end we had the jump, but camels are clearing this one up, especially now that we are Castle Age. Castle Age camel, bam, will deal with the feudal age army quite nicely. Viper continued with some more production, but a bit late, and JorDan even with really solid micro there, dodging some shots, and now he can go for camels, and Shivamsha can raid quite a bit. Viper's castle inch timing was very delayed, had to build defensive tower, had to go onto stone, spearman for the defense, not the pretty job. And look at that map awareness, like JorDan trying to find the extra town centers, is aware here at the right hand side. And that brings us to a wild moment in the mid game. JorDan over 20 villages ahead, and Viper builds a castle. JorDan wants to build a castle as well, but a tiny bit too late, and this is going to be a pretty brutal run. Villagers blocking each other. Now the CA are coming over. Villagers here, full traffic jam, as you can see. And I will speed up a bit. Oh, that is so ugly for JorDan. Crossbow are now coming and joining the party, and villager count will be getting really close after this one. But armored elephants are joining the party as well. The castle will get up eventually, and JorDan kind of stabilizes and does some pretty neat moves, something that I didn't even know. Armored elephants jumping into the castle and being extracted or not extracted, unleashed on the other side. So the mangonel couldn't really hit it. The castle's falling, and JorDan's economy, yeah, not that big of a lead anymore, but still big enough to go for the full Shivamsha raid, and that's indeed what he did. And that becomes really ugly to deal with. Full Shivamsha play, even some camels in if you wanted to deal or mix in some light cav, and Viper couldn't really find any answers anymore. As you can see, pikemen or harbor, like the pikeman direction, simply not what you want to go for in this super open, very raidable map. And Viper has to tap this one out after he sees, okay, those Shivamshas will overwhelm me. He's trying to expand, but JorDan, as you can see, very great map awareness and takes the 2-1 lead here. Mr. Jordi, impressive play. Game 4, Kilimanjaro. The Viper plays Berbers, and JorDan, playing Hindustanis, has not won an S-tier tournament set against the Viper since 2000. 2013. Both players opened with scouts here and tried to wall up quite a bit. We actually reached Castle Age with the 0-0 KD. As you can see, first units dying here. And we see both players going for camels and some monks here. Viper with the defensive monastery, double stable camel, and JorDan also double stable camel. Full production here, both players playing 1 TC for quite some time. And the Viper simply adding some scouts, and Lightcav did a really good job of finding some kills against those monks here behind the scenes. As we can see, now one monk dying, second monk dying as well before the conversions came in. Maybe one conversion there that I missed. And JorDan with better economy behind this, but Viper also with wheelbarrow now. And this continued for quite some time here. Conversions traded back, camels defending, but remember, Berbers, cheaper camel production against the faster attacking camels here of Hindustanis. And JorDan continued with more aggression, but Viper added the second town center a bit earlier, even thought about the third town center here. Lightcav now moving in, trying to jump for those monks, will find some kills, conversions behind this as well. And now the big camel v camel fight, most of the monks survived. But Viper somehow makes a hold happen, especially with the help of the town center behind this one as well. And oh, this is so intense. Just continues to be like this, and JorDan maybe a bit too much under the TC fire here for my liking. 2 town centers completely helping out, and JorDan losing lots and lots of camels here. The Lightcav are diving in again, and JorDan is getting pushed back. Viper unleashes his villagers, and that kind of felt like losing all the monks was a bit too much here. All of a sudden, Viper with the better economy and the better army here. JorDan maybe a bit impatient, needed some siege, or just needed to camp this area a bit more. Tough to say though. And Viper with a nice hold and will close out the game. Just quickly after it, seeing, okay, I will get those villagers here quite easily converted, have enough camels as well. And as we mentioned, 30C now coming up even. JorDan has to tap this one out, and we are going into a game 5 with even score. The dream is coming true. Deciding game 5. The Viper with Britons against JorDan with Bengalis, and it was an absolute banger. JorDan fighting a lot with the deer compared to the Viper. Yeah, that was a bit annoying to him. Couldn't really get the deer inside ever again in this game. I wasn't too happy with that. And we had the double monastery and barracks opening against stable and single monastery. We got some conversions here, but obviously the Bengalis monks stood their ground quite a bit as well. We got some surrounds here, and I think even got 3 conversions in this engagement here. Spearmen dealt with the rest, and yeah, JorDan had to be pretty happy. Got 3 relics to 2 in the end there. Openings were Elephant Archer plus Skirmisher against a mix of some longbows, Elite Skirmisher, and Lightcav for the Viper. And it was an absolute battle here in Imperial Age. Elite Skirmishers added on both sides, obviously more range for the Viper here. Also was transitioning a bit into Arbalest behind this. Armored Elephants, a bit added at the front, but then we transitioned into a lot of traps. Warwolf was added as well. JorDan got Mahayana, and therefore could get into better numbers. But it just felt like a lot of elite skirmishes here at all times. We're trying to snipe those elite elephant archers. Traps dealing with that castle quite nicely. Warwolf not in time there to save that one, but we had constant fight after constant fight. Traps are trying to get sniped. Skirms are being traded off, and it was an absolutely brilliant game. Warwolf added so much damage behind the scenes though, and here it looked like we did not have enough halberdiers, and JorDan was about to push. People were already pretty happy, spamming quite some GGs because JorDan got into his dream army composition. Pikes now coming in as well. Elite elephant archers obviously incredibly pop efficient. Arbalest count now relatively high, Skirm count not that high, Halberdier count not that high. Lightcav could maybe jump in. The castle is falling there, at least so we thought, but Warwolf traps doing enough of a job, and somehow the Viper was able to hold this one for some time. Next wave coming in, again Halberdier count pretty low. JorDan did a really good job of switching in back and forth. But in some weird world, even after all the traps died, the Viper, being really low in gold composition, made a switch into Cavaliers, which was quite surprising to a lot of us, and lost a lot of army, but constantly kept those Elite Elephant Archer number low. At 12 here at this point, 21 at this point here, and dealing with some castles, constant pressure there. Arbalest now added in the back, 70 kills on that group there, and Elite Skirmishers being sent in. JorDan throws in everything, as we can see, 90 farms against 75, but in the end, somehow Viper fought him down. Absolutely crazy there, and JorDan's words in the end, aye 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 Viper. Whew, if you were in the same room or near me, I'd slap you right now. Aye aye aye, well played. Viper advances in a crazy set, and this is the moment where you try to trick the YouTube algorithm by subscribing, liking, and commenting. Goodbye from me. What a crazy set. I'm excited for the upcoming other quarterfinals and semifinals. I will cover them also in the 15-minute format. See you then. Goodbye, belovers.